Thank you, John. Our guest speaker tonight is sort of a case of a local boy comes home, a local boy, a New Hampshire boy who has left Berlin and has made a career for himself as one of the outstanding coaches in the country. Has coached at a variety of levels, has been a high school coach, a college coach, a professional coach, and at every level he has experienced great success. And when you talk about guys who know the game of hockey and guys who've been inspirational leaders in the game of hockey in the United States, his name certainly leads the list. We're really honored to have as our guest speaker from New England College, Red Gendron. Red.
Well, thank you very much, Bob, for the introduction. And let me first begin by saying I'm extraordinarily honored to be here today to celebrate the 2017 class. Congratulations to all of you, and as Bob said, your families. I know some are being inducted posthumously, which is still a terrific honor, and it's great that your families can share the excellence of your loved ones as it relates to hockey in this great state. I want to talk a little bit about a quote I heard a long time ago. I guess I'm told it's an African proverb. It goes something like this: "It takes a village to raise a child." And I've been lucky to be part of lots of different villages in the course of my professional career and my development as a human being, starting in Berlin, New Hampshire. So my first village in Berlin, what I've come to realize now that I'm a little bit older and my brain seems to work a little bit better, Bill Beanie wouldn't think so. Coach Beanie was my coach. That's why he doesn't have any hair any longer. I think villages, if it's a great village, you're going to find great mentors. You're going to find heroes that you can emulate. You're going to find brothers, people that you're going to go to battle with. And then you'll also find great nemeses that help push you to your utmost capacity. So, as a kid growing up in Berlin, 1967 or thereabouts, I lived right across the street from Memorial Field in Berlin, baseball park, right? And so there was this guy who's a member of this august group, Bruce Parker, who coached hockey in Berlin and coached the last New England championship team at Berlin High School. He was also a great baseball guy, and I was a little kid, and Roger Letourneau, who's being inducted here today, Roger played some baseball too, and I would go across the street during high school and Legion practice, and they let me shag balls. I'd go get the foul balls that went into the yards and all of that, and then occasionally shag some in the outfield that the other players were too lazy to go get all the way to the fence. You know, and then at the end of the practices, you know, Bruce Parker would say, "Hey, red tank," because I was always kind of big, and I was once red. He'd say, "Get up there, grab a bat." Now, of course, I'm grabbing a bat that's probably 34 inches, and I'm 9 years old. And Coach Parker's throwing them right down the plate, and I'm whacking them. And guys like Roger Letourneau are sitting out there pretending they don't want to go out and have a beer with their buddies, and while they're shagging my chintzy little whacks at the baseball. But he was a mentor, Coach Parker. Guys like Husky Poirier, Albie Broder, both members of this group, they were mentors. Without them, I wouldn't be worthy of being here before you today. And then there were heroes, people that you looked up to. You know, when I was a kid, the Notre Dame Arena in Berlin was the center of the universe. And when you're a kid, you're going to the rink and you're watching the high school guys like Roger, and then you're watching the Berlin Maroons. Saw Bird Levine here today, Dickie Roy here today. Those were my heroes. I wanted to be like them. Coach Parker was also a member of that team. And then there were nemesis, you know, as a kid. Like, I knew who was playing on those other teams. So today we honor the dad of a friend and colleague of mine, Rand Pecknold's dad, Wayne. I can't say that I really remember Mr. Pecknold, what kind of a player he was or whatnot, but I do remember the name. And I remember Ray Champagne and Kangaroo Hebert. And in your village, you have to grow to respect the people who make you better from the outside. That's how you grow. And then I was lucky, I got to go to a new village, a new hockey village. I went to New England College. And there, my mentors were people like Mickey Goulet, who had a long career, just like Coach Beanie. He's retired now in Ottawa. Coach Beanie, of course. But also, while I was at New England College, I got just a little bit smarter. One of my favorite expressions is it's not okay to be stupid, and it's cool to be smart. And I think I started to take some steps while I was there. I became a more thoughtful person. And while I was at New England College learning from a couple of great hockey minds, I learned some things about history and teaching so that I could stand before you today. So I was lucky that way. Brothers, I had lots of them. You know, there's a bunch of my brothers already in this group. John Norman is one of my hockey brothers. Jimmy Griffin, being inducted today, one of my hockey brothers. And I had a whole bunch of them at New England College, and all of these men remain important to me today. Pretty cool to be part of these new villages, right? But it's all part of one big hockey family. Today, the hockey family is primarily focused on the great state of New Hampshire and our rich heritage and all of the people who've contributed to that end. But I can tell you that Jacques Lemaire not only knew Red Gendron from Berlin and Jimmy Griffin, who he coached at Plattsburgh State University when Jimmy was playing there, but he also knew Husky Poirier. And he knew Husky because I was fond of times sporting Husky's inimitable broken English, franglais, if you will. And at one point, Jacques said to me, and you know, those of us that are French Canadian, there are a few of us in the area, you know, all of the foul language, forgive me, Reverend, all of the foul language has to do with different things in the Catholic Church, and so anyway, Jacques says to me, I'm telling him stories about Husky and so on and so forth, and he says, tabarnak, Red. He goes, stop talking like that. I go, what do you mean, Jacques? He goes, you talk with that French-Canadian accent and you intentionally mispronounce words and say the wrong word at the right time and the right time and the wrong word. He goes, then I go in front of the devil and I say the wrong thing to them, I'm all confused. So So even Hall of Famer Jacques Lemaire knew Huskypooria. The point is, the villages continue to come with you. And personally, I'm proud to be part of the village of Berlin, the village of New England College, the village of New Hampshire hockey. And I've taken the village with me to Maine. And again, it's been a pleasure for me to stand before you today and celebrate all of you who are here, celebrate all of the inductees, and to just remind us about our better natures and how we all need to stick together as opposed to being divisive. Finally, no one is tough alone. You know, my lovely bride here, if my kids turned out all right, I can't take any credit for it. If I were able to manage my life, the ups and downs of coaching, it's because of my wife. It's because of the mentors I had, because of the brothers I had and still have. So thank you all to my hockey family.